So what's the difference between visual review and keyword results? So when you think about we're using the MLS as a data source, we really want to make sure that all of the data that we're able to gather from the MLS is as quality of data as possible. Now, the easiest initial way to get that information about the properties and the listing and selling agents is to use a really simple keyword search. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with using keywords. It's really the easiest way to try to find properties that are on the MLS that are listed, and they have keywords in them like TLC, fixer, needs renovation, diamond in the rough, all of these really easy, TLC, these keywords that are synonymous with, needing to be flipped, right? And so understanding that is a really easy way for you to put up some search parameters and understanding what your price range is, and if you have a certain square foot bracket, whatever you need to set it up, and then you can put some keywords in there, and I'll show you how to do that. You can easily get some results and start to populate your quality data into your CRM and start to send emails to these people that have the types of properties that we're really looking for. Understanding that those properties are the easiest to attain, it's likely that there are a lot of other investors also pursuing those same deals, right? Pick the lowest hanging fruit, if you will. And so one of the ways that we can really differentiate and build the most extensive, as far as width and allowing for us to have the most amount of agent relationships, we can go into the visual review process. Now, what does that mean? So when we take the keyword fixers out of the equation, like those are the ones we've already seen, right? Now what we have left is everything else that is on the MLS. And really this is everything else determining, it's determined which search you're looking at, the active, pending, or sold, whichever criteria we're going to be looking in. All of the properties that are remaining in those listing statuses are essentially all of the rest of the listings. That includes any fixers that don't have those keywords in their remarks, which there's often quite a bit. Just regular properties that are being sold by a homeowner. And there's all types of different scenarios that are you're going to find in there. And then there's a lot of beautiful, absolutely immaculate renovated properties that you really want nothing to do with. And so the process of combing and sorting through those properties, really is visually reviewing which property looks potentially like it could be a fixer, right? And so we'll talk a little bit about how to quantify that and really, saying, what does this look like in terms of, the kitchen, the bathroom? Does it look like it needs, some landscaping? You obviously have your own criteria and the types of the quality of your renovation, but the part of the process here is to distinguish between all of the rest of those properties and selecting, this one looks like a light fixer, this one looks like a complete renovation. There'll be some listings that don't have any pictures and no remarks. In my experience, I found that a lot of situations with distressed sellers, they need to get the house on the market super quick, so they tell their agents to list it that night when they sign a listing agreement. So they put up a picture, a listing without any pictures or any remarks, and so that's an opportunity potentially there. It also could be just a regular property, but you only find out by reaching out and contacting them. But you wouldn't find a property like that with the keyword search, right? So realizing that there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of properties and a lot of agents that you can really identify with the visual review process. And this is why it's really important, because these are the properties that a lot of other investors aren't willing to do the work to actually go through this process and identify these opportunities. And when you do that, you now also really expand the opportunities that you have to build relationships, because you're not just going after the 5 fixers, you're going after the 30 light fixers, and the ones that agents who are dealing with those types of deals could likely have other deals in probably even worse shape later down the road. And that's really the idea here. And so when you think about it at a large spectrum, all you have left are the beautiful remodeled properties and all of the ones that really don't need any updates that you have already sorted through. And so this is really important for you to realize that the two main differences, and taking the time to have a visual review done, whether you have it scheduled to be batched on a weekly basis or a daily basis or a bi-weekly basis, whatever's best for you and your business and whatever you can really afford, it allows for you to increase the amount of conversations that you have, which then increases the amount of opportunities and exclusive off-market deals that you get sent to you. And so we'll dive more into the sequences and what it looks like and what those conversations look like and why you might consider having more visually reviewed properties done on a more frequent basis. You really understand the implications of that and understand that it can really bring a ton of value as you do that more often. All right, so I hope you understand a little bit more about the differences between the keyword fixers and the visually reviewed opportunities. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into it.